So, dear friends, today I'm going to discuss with you a very simple and very short sutta, and it explains the entire enlightenment path. And it will be very beautiful for us to discuss upon it. Okay, this sutta is from Numerical Discourses, Book of 4. This is Abhiññā, and Abhiññā Sutta is the first sutta. Okay, Abhiññā, very simple, very short sutta, but has a beautiful explanation of Dhamma. See, it is called Abhiññā Sutta. Beautifully explained. Let's directly learn about this. Chattaro me bhikkhave Dhamma. Because these are four Dhamma exist. Okay. Katame chattaro. And what for? Atti bhikkhave Dhamma Abhiññā Pariññā. There is this thing that should be completely understood by direct knowledge. Abhiññā, it means direct knowledge. Pariññā, it means to be understand. Okay. Atti bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā pahatadva. There are things which should be given up by direct knowledge. Atti bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā bhavetadva. There are things that should be developed by direct knowledge. Atti bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā sachikatadva. There are things should be realized with the direct knowledge. So these are the four dhammas the Buddha explained. And now furthermore, the Buddha gave the direct knowledge. It means we learn from the Dhamma, what we realized, what we understand, what we see in the Dhamma. That practice is called direct knowledge. Like if you are practicing impermanent, so impermanent knowledge of impermanence is a direct knowledge, so in that way. Furthermore, Buddha explains, Katamecha bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā pariññā. And bhikkhu, what are the dhamma? What are the things that should be completely understood by direct knowledge? So the first dhamma is Buddha explained by understanding. Okay, to understand. Okay, these exist, and in that category, in that dhamma, the Buddha explained panchupadana khanda. 5 grasping aggregates or 5 aggregates of clinging. Buddha says this thing we should understand. These 5 aggregates of clinging we should understand. Why the Buddha explained about understanding this? It's a very simple thing. The 5 aggregates, when we see that this is suffering, in summary, the Buddha explained the 5 aggregates of clinging is a suffering. So the birth, aging, sickness, death, separating from beloved, associating the evil, and then whatever we want, we won't get it. These are all things happens because the 5 aggregates of clinging exist in our life. So that Rupa Upadana Khanda, the form is aggregate of clinging or grasping aggregate. Vedana, feeling, aggregate of clinging. Then Sanya, perception, Sanskara, formation, and Vijnana, the consciousness. These are the 5 aggregates of clinging. So whatever the suffering we have in this world, it is happening because of we haven't understood the 5 aggregates of clinging. When someone understands, okay, these are the 5 aggregates of clinging, and because of this process happens, because of this is happening, I am suffering in this world. I am getting birth, I'm getting old, suffer, passed away. These are all things happen just because of it. So that we have to understand well. So first dhamma is called Pancha Upadana Khanda. Ime Vucchati Bhikkhave Dhamma Abhiññā Pariññā. Because these are called the things that should be completely understood by direct knowledge. So as we are practicing the Buddha's Dhamma, as we are learning teaching. So what is the purpose should be? To understand this Dhamma continuously. Understand this, what? That these five aggregates of clinging or five grasping aggregates exist. And this is the cause of suffering. This is the cause of suffering. Second one, furthermore, Buddha explained, Katamecha bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā pahatabba. And what are the dhamma that should be given up by direct knowledge? Buddha explained, Avijjāca bhavatanhaca. Avijja, it means ignorance. Ignorance. And bhavatanha means craving for continued existence. These two things. So, five aggregates of clinging is there if person doesn't understand. Means if the person have avidya, the ignorance this person has, these five aggregates of five grasping aggregates, because of ignorance, we are getting birth again and again. And the desire to be continued exist. Desire to be stay in this world continuously. Even we don't, how much we suffer, we wish that I should stay, I should exist in some way, some form, somewhere. Because attachment what we have toward this world, attachment what we have toward this, our relatives, our, what are the material things? Those are what we hope. Oh, today in this life, I did not get these things. Maybe next life I will. Some of the time we say that thing, that I didn't get this thing, but today I'm collecting a lot of good karma. So in the next life, I should have this thing. I must have these things. So that also cause, that also increase, that also explains, okay, want to exist somewhere. So ignorance is the one thing. And the second thing is continuous or craving for existence. In the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, it mentioned Kamatanna, Bhavatanna, Vibhavatanna, then Bhavatanna. That Bhavatanna, what it does? It gives, it originates all the suffering. It originates suffering. All, and suffering exists because this craving exists because we haven't understand, because of ignorance, the Buddha says. So ime vuchyati bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā pahatabba. These are the two things. These are the avidya, ignorance, and craving for continuous existence. These are the two dhammas that should be get rid of, given up, that should be erased from our life. What? Ignorance. How to get rid of ignorance then? So the fourth dhamma explains. Katamecha bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā bhavitabba. And what is the dhamma which should be practiced, which should be developed by direct knowledge? What is the practice? Buddha explains. Samathocha vipassanacha. Samatha, it means, mindfulness things, serenity. And vipassana, it is discriminant. We will use the Pali words. Samat is very simple thing. Samat is the loving kindness meditation, what we do. And we develop the jhanas, the first jhana, second jhana, third, fourth. Whatever the meditations help us to attain the state of jhanas, that is called samatha meditation. Vipassana meditation is that everything is impermanent. What is impermanent is suffering. That cannot be me, myself. Those are things. So the reality what we see through the Dhamma, reality what we look, that reality means when we are looking at, that is called vipassana. Okay. So Supreme Buddha says these two Dhamma should be practiced. Practice for what? Because the five aggregates of clinging or five grasping aggregates exist. Those exist because of ignorance and continuous existence, desire. So, to get rid of that ignorance, to get rid of these things, we must practice samatha and vipassana. As the samatha and vipassana is developed, then Dhamma move forward. So in the samatha vipassana, samatha meditation, there are several meditations you can do. Several meditations you can do. You can do foulness of body. That is also samatha when you practice in one way. Atthika sanya, everything is bones. That thing is kasinas. Kasina is also for samatha meditation. Then loving kindness is there. Furthermore, vipassana. Vipassana meditation has a four foundation of mindfulness. Four foundation of mindfulness is in Satipatthana Sutta explains. What are the four foundation of mindfulness? Kaya kayanupasthiti. By this body, observing this body. Vedananupassana. The feelings, looking at those feelings. Chittanupassana. Looking our mind through the Dhamma. And the Dhammanupassana. All the phenomena, what is happening, looking at that. These are called vipassana. So when we observe this entirely, our body, mind, feelings, and the phenomena, then we are practicing vipassana meditation. So Buddha says these two dhamma should be practiced, developed by direct knowledge. That's samatha and vipassana. This samatha and vipassana holds, as you learn further and further in Dhamma. When someone is practicing vipassana, ultimate goal is attaining or realization of Eightfold Path, practicing of Eightfold Path. And what the Eightfold Path does? So the four things Buddha explains in here. What? Katamecha bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā saccikātabba. Because what dhamma is there? There is a dhamma. What dhamma is there which should be realized? Vijja cha vimukti cha. Vijja and vimukti. The four dhamma Buddha explained. That vijja, it means knowledge. And vimukti, it is liberation, freedom. These two things should be practiced, realized. Samatha vipassana, because of five aggregates of clinging or because of five grasping aggregates, those exist, so our suffering exists. This suffering exists because of ignorance and desire to be born. If person practice samatha and vipassana, the person practice, okay, then I am practicing this Dhamma, so the realizations happen. And what happened? That ignorance vanishes and the knowledge arises. The Vijja, knowledge arises. And Vimukti, where the knowledge arises, what happened? All the suffering fades away and only exists liberation, freedom. Ime vucchati bhikkhave dhamma abhiññā saccikātabba. Because these are the dhamma, this is the dhamma that should be realized by direct knowledge. How simple this sutta is, how beautiful this sutta is. Imeko bhikkhave chattaro dhamma. These are the four things. That is the sutta. In this sutta, Buddha explains everything. In this sutta, we can see the direct path to enlightenment. If someone wants, I don't want to do so many things. I cannot do so many things. So remember these four dhamma. If you remember these four dhammas, and that's enough. If you practice these four dhammas, that's enough for practicing further. But as we see, we are unable to continue practicing dhamma. And that's why we need a couple of rituals. We need a couple of, associations. We need a couple of gatherings. We need a lot of dhamma to be there to, practice, continues this path. So these four things, if someone realized, entire enlightenment, he can go forward. How you decide, how to understand that the 5 aggregates of clinging. In short, 5 aggregates of clinging is suffering that we learn, and Buddha's Dhamma explain. When there is origin, there is a suffering, origin of suffering, cessation of suffering, and path leads to cessation of suffering. This 4 thing exists. In this 4, this entire path is mentioned. We see the Paticca Samutpada, dependent origination. What it is explained? It starts from Avijja. Because of Avijja, this entire chain happens and comes back to suffering. This exists. What ignorance gives? Ignorance explains the desire for this. Ignorance is there because of our desire to be exist somewhere. We do not want to liberate. Even now, if you go, everyone say that I want to be free. I want to escape from this suffering. But if you mention someone that after enlightenment, there is nothing will remain in this world of you. You will never exist anywhere. And people are shocked. This concept of soul appears because of they need existence somewhere. They need something substantial to look forward. The Buddha did not say that. So avidya and bhavatanna, ignorance and this desire to be born or desire to be exist somewhere, these things. And to understand, to realize, okay, how to get rid of this. So practice Dhamma, practice meditation. These things are come from inside. If you keep eyes open and you look toward entire world, that is not you're going to find anything. That knowledge is different. That is only worldly knowledge. But reality of this life rests inside. So to look at, to understand, to realize fruit of knowledge, fruit of liberation. So once we practice this Dhamma, it becomes very easy for us to follow the path. Okay, so this is the sutta, what we want to learn today. I hope that you understand. Okay, so may this sutta be helpful for all of us to understand this sutta. May this sutta be helpful for all of us to realize the 4 noble truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
You said the desire to be born. I don't quite understand. Can we have a desire to be born? I mean, I understand that the craving for existence leads to suffering, but what is the desire to be born? Who has the desire to be born?
Craving is the same word for desire. We want to be exist somewhere. Like usually we write down names everywhere. Okay, the people will remember something. Or when we hear that I'm doing a good karma, I'm doing a good merit, I'm attending something good. So the result will be I will be born into the heavenly world. I will be born into this temporal world. I will come back to complete my work. Such a thing people make these words. So knowingly, unknowingly, they crave for existence. Like simply said, the concept of soul in India, we call. So this soul, the liberation is also this soul attached with the supreme power. So your exist is there also. That they call the liberation. In Buddhism, there is nothing, there is no substantial thing like soul. We cannot prove. Everything is impermanent, everything is changing. That is the way of nature. So how can be there is something exist in us which cannot be changed? It is not possible. So all the birth we are taking, it is changing because of what we are collecting, what we are doing. And still we haven't done with it. We still want to exist somewhere. That is, I'm not saying it tomorrow, today or tomorrow we're going to liberate. Not possible. Means, uh, it is not easy to realize that. It will take a long time for us. Today, what we are doing, we are collecting that slowly, slowly Dhamma as a coming lives, as a coming our time, that we will be very helpful. Means this knowledge, what we are collecting, it will be helpful for us to see the Buddha's words. And once we do, we are finished. We are liberated. Our work is done here. So the craving or desire, that is there. Suffering, Buddha says, this suffering, the origin of suffering exists because of Kama Tanna, Bhava Tanna, and Vibhava Tanna. That is there. I have it. You all have it. In this world, everyone has it.
Okay.
But we don't want suffering. When the suffering comes, we said we don't want it. Whatever I don't want suffering. But when we call, because of we born, this exists. It never comes, I do not want to born again. Because that is because of ignorance. The ignorance is there, and so the everything comes back.
Thank you, Bhante.
So Bhante, is that directly related to their belief in self, in a self? Because otherwise, if they didn't believe, they want that self to continue.
Yeah.
So the desire would be related to they don't understand that there's a non-self, that they believe there's still a self.
Yes. Actually, even some people, means in India exists, people believe there is no soul. Also thinks whatever this material transform into, in some way, like our consciousness is there taking, like we talked about that previously, the karma we did, the result of that we are here today. What the karma will collect today, that will it will be divided in 3 parts. One we will get today, one will tomorrow to born, and one it continues in life. So that existence also, that flow also, they want to continue.
So people who believe that if they have good karma, they'll come back, they still believe in a self. Would that make sense?
In a way, like when we have the self, means like we call it, this is me, this is is myself. Because of ignorance, we call it, but there is nothing substantial that is this is
Right.
myself.
Okay.
But we haven't understood, because of ignorance, we call it, wherever we born, we call it that this is me, this mind. Yayang tanna pono bhavikat nandiraga sahagata tatra tatra abhinandini. This desire, which wherever it takes, it enjoys that life. It delights it. That's called kama tanna, bhava tanna. That is called the desire. That is called craving. So wherever we born, it feels, oh, this is mine, this is me, this is myself. And it doesn't finish there. For next time also we want the same thing. Like several times in worldly things, we usually say, okay, if I will come back and take the revenge, something like this, or talked about next time, okay, I will have that thing, oh, when I born again, that this world will be changed, so I will have these things, sometimes people want to make themselves, I want to be remembered for 100 years. So they write down their names, places. Why? Because someone should remember that craving is there too.
So if they give up that craving,
there is no self, we believe that there is.
So they give up that craving, what happens to all the karma they've gathered?
Karma also get finished. Like once it is result, once it give result, there is no karma exist anymore. Like Sariputta Bhante had his karma. Once he become enlightened, he utilized his karma, and now no new karma is happening again.
Mhm.
If new karma is not happening there anymore, so it cannot move forward. It is something like there is a lamp, like 24/7 it burns. So why it burns? Because someone is continuously changing the thread is there and pouring the oil into it.
Mhm.
That pouring oil, it is called kind of karma.
Mhm.
It is continuously happening. We are doing good karma, bad karma. This is happening. If someone stop pouring the oil into it, what will happen?
So the karma
This
stalls.
yes, it finishes. So
Yeah.
both good karma and bad karma, it gives result and it finishes. It is not permanent.
Hmm.
That changes.
Thank you, Bhante.
But it doesn't finish, it's long time to finish the karma. Like some of the karma is there, which comes behind us for the hundreds of life. Like a Mughal Bante, when he killed his mother and father, what happened? He became enlightened. Still, that karma follows him only for that life. It finishes there. Angulimala Bante, Buddha says he did a lot of bad things. He has done worse. If he didn't realize the Dhamma, if he didn't become enlightened, he has to go to suffer into the bad destination for millions of years. But it finishes because of he has realized Dhamma. Understand? So nothing remains to do it. That is, karma is a beautiful thing. We don't understand the karma, and what we do, we want to make it like as our own, means however we want, we desire that our karma should be like that. It should give result like that. We always think that karma should always give only happy result, but we are doing so many bad things, and we don't hope for that, and that's why we suffer because of the karma also.
Well, Bhante, you finished saying that in our next life we will suffer because of the karma. However, don't we believe that hopefully we will end this life with a good karma and be reborn? Well, no, I guess I answered my own question. The rebirth is suffering. I got it as I spoke. Thank you.
Yeah, that is a beautiful thing. That's why Buddha says, when we tell someone, Dhamma, when we express someone, automatically we will also start to understand that. That is the beauty of Dhamma. Sutta, Datta, Vachasa, Parichita. Vachasa, Parichita is explaining. Manupekita, and automatically our mind runs that. Ditya Suprita, we corrected ourselves and we can follow the path. It becomes very easy. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. Today's sutta was very simple, very small. We will discuss further more suttas in next time. Okay, so these are the entire path, means this simple sutta gives the entire way of enlightenment. Okay, so I hope you enjoy. May this sutta be helpful for all of us to attain the Dhamma in this Gautam Buddha dispensation.